So like main is where you say that the project program starts here, but for Android app development, it main is already written at the core of it. We don't have to write it. That we tell the Android OS that main starts here. So if we just run the code, so this is similar to like a W3 schools playground or anything where you can where we're printing. So yeah, let's go into so we'll sort of go into probably null safety and things like that. Yesterday we saw two types of variables. Does anyone remember what they were? So not variables, two types of ways we can assign value to something. So it was val and var. So val is something that is immutable. It's a constant. So let's say val x is equal to 10, and var x is equal to minus 5. Uh, Now if I try to write x is equal to x plus 1, this is going to give us an error because val cannot be reassigned. It's a constant value that cannot be reassigned. So just to get an idea, if I say
Why did you give the same x for both of them? Could have given where y,
sorry,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So as you can see, as expected, val cannot be reassigned. This is so if I change this into y is equal to x plus 1, that should be able to give us x and y. So this should become minus 4 and x should remain. Oh, sorry, x plus 1, my bad. Y will become 10 plus 1, 11, and x will stay as 10. So these are something that you'll be using throughout your cycle. Wherever you can use val, always try to use val so that the app, the OS or anything cannot corrupt your variables and read write over it. So another thing you might say that this is sort of we don't have to specify explicit types. So now if I do want to, like yesterday, what the issue we faced was um, sort of we faced the issue of 5 by 9 was taken as 0 instead of 5.0 by 9.0, which was taken as 0.555. So here if we have to explicitly mention what type it is, we can say x is a double, and let's say y is a double as well. We can have something called, which can be, let's say, a string SMATM. So now it knows what we're doing. So when I say z plus 1, um, sorry, just a second. Initializer, oh yeah, 10.0, 5.0. Yeah, so this is where the error hit because we have specifically mentioned string, but a plus operator is where it expects a double, and we're assigning it to a double, so it's always going to expect a double here. So I'm going to keep this as well. So here now, once we kind of understand these are the two variables we're going to be playing with, val var. Uh, let's say if we had to in just normal Kotlin code, um, in Android app development, you're going to use more of XMLs. But if you had to take in an input, yeah. So let's say enter your name, and you're gonna do something called read line. So and let's print what we. So enter name. Name is equal to read line. This is strange.
In Python, we say input something, right?
No, I'm pretty sure it's read line. So it should be within main, and probably it's not allowed to use this as a terminal. Um, Let me check it quickly here. If I open up, it might be one because readline should work, and this shouldn't come up except for thread name. Okay, so I'm not sure why this is happening. I think this is an environment issue. We should be able to take an input. Probably this doesn't let us take input. So okay, let's quickly go into what like data types and are there. Actually, I'm not going to go into a lot of basics. It's very similar to what you might have done in Python. I'm sure all of you will.
Is it closer
Uh,
to Python or is it closer to Java?
it's closer to JavaScript. It
JavaScript, is
doesn't.
it?
It's not.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not Java because a lot of things are done on runtime.
Hmm.
You don't have to mention the type and things like that, but
Hmm.
or it's we can say it's slightly closer to Python as well, but not
Okay.
Java. um so
No, I
actually
think it's
wait, let me.
better that you do some simple programs so that we can understand, like factorial of a number and things like that.
Okay, yeah, so
Or
let's do
print
factorial.
all even numbers, print all odd numbers, something like that. Because unless we see code, we will not be able to. Can you print all even numbers, print all odd numbers, factorial?
Yeah,
Let's see how it looks like.
let's actually. Mhm. So let's do that. So I'm gonna clear out all of this, and we're just gonna start with main. So we're gonna start similarly with main, and we're gonna have a for loop that will go through. Let's say print all even numbers between um, 1 to 10 or 1 to 50. So So for I in um, sorry, this is my Python coming up. So 1 till 50, 51. So if I percentage to so this should mm, oh sorry, yeah. So for loop we maintain it um, uh map out iterator. Where is this being used? Not using a oh sorry, yeah. This has to be I to 51. Yeah. So
Yeah, you can
let
just
me
remove
just
that
do
even number. Just put print dollar I only. That's in.
so we don't need a dollar if we're only directly.
Okay.
So for
So
loop
what is that?
the
1 dot dot 51, is it? That's what you need, right?
yes. So dot 51 is it acts as an iterator.
Hmm.
So it looks for a dot iterator. So that's how it goes into. So this is how you just do starting number, ending number, and then you have a skip number if you want it.
Okay, and suppose we have an
So
increment
yeah,
step
you can
value.
add the increment here. Yeah. So let's say if we want to have a step value of 2 in this, so 1 dot 51, and let's say we want to have a step value of 2. We always mention step of 2. Mm, okay, 1 dot 51, and it should be allowing me to add step. Okay, maybe step of 2.
I think you can remove the
Oh,
divide by 2. Just keep it simple. Just print only I.
so step
Step
1
2.
works. Step 2.
Hmm.
Okay.
Correct.
I'm not sure why this did not work.
That you don't worry. I think. So we got the for loop
Yeah.
syntax. Okay.
So there's one thing I wanted to cover with this when we have the time to go into Kotlin. So sort of null safety. Null safety is something you're going to be working with Android when you're building apps as well. So,
Shiva, a
like a way
few more examples will help us, yeah? Little in Kotlin before you go to null safety.
yeah. So
Yeah, for
within
example,
Kotlin
huh?
itself,
How do I read a, I
yeah,
mean, how do I mean, is there a need for file read and file output?
not
Not required, right? For
necessarily.
mobile app development.
No,
Okay.
no, no.
So mainly
So
we use this only for logic, right?
yes,
Okay. So what about, is there a concept of list and arrays here?
yeah.
So
Um,
let's say I want to create two lists, one list of even numbers, one list of odd numbers. How do I do it?
mhm. So we have lists and maps and
Yeah, please
what
cover that
else?
first, please.
Yeah.
So students here are familiar with
So
Python list and Python tuple and map. Sorry, Python dictionary.
yeah. So let's say array one is array of that would be 1 3 5 7.
Hmm.
So we use array of to create a list. Now, if I want to make sure that it's only of type int, then I say int array of, and this would, let's see if okay, yeah, you need to loop through it, and so
Oh,
print
you
array of
can't print
one would give
directly.
us three. No,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
three, and then so we have array. Then we have
So you can't print the
sort
list
of
directly, right? Hmm.
not array. We can't
Okay.
print the array, but
Hmm.
we have something called list.
How do you add?
So
Okay, array is different from list is different from array, is it?
yes, lists are the ones that are most um, commonly used while you're using Kotlin. Um, yeah, so we're going to be seeing there can be mutable list, there can be immutable list. So it's a way to organize any sort of if you want to store any lifecycle management. Also, it happens in lists. So these are linear data structures, but it's very important for development. So lists is ordered. It's as usual, as you can see in other languages. It's ordered, but it doesn't have a specific size. It is dynamic in size, so you can keep adding. It maintains like the um, indices around it. So we have the immutable list that you cannot modify after it, and we have the mutable list that you can modify. So if we are working with lists, so if I create a list, so I write it as list of, and why is this? Okay. So list of 10, 20, 30, and this, if I say, so list you can directly print, arrays you can't.
Okay, wait. Array we cannot, and list we can print.
Yes.
So list printing is similar to Python, right? Okay.
Yes.
But the
List
difference
printing.
is
Lists are actually,
huh?
yeah.
But the difference is there we use a square bracket, and here we are writing list of with a round bracket. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
How do you add something to the list here?
So I say list one dot add 40.
Hmm.
List one dot add 50, and then we, Um,
Add or append? In Python, it is append. Here, what is
so if I have a mutable list, so this should have add. Yeah. So
So we
there are
need
two
to
types
write
of lists.
mutable list, is it? Okay.
Yeah, because there are two types of lists, mutable and immutable.
Hmm.
Unless we specify it can be mutable, it's not going to allow you to add values. Immutable because you cannot add anything or subtract
Hmm.
anything.
Hmm.
It's
Hmm. Hmm.
it's like constants but for list. So if I had to remove, let's say 10, you can see 20, or we can say list one dot remove at one.
This is
So
removing
that
at
will remove.
position 1.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Yeah.
And that should remove 30 because this becomes 0 1.
Right. Right.
And
Okay. Got it. So we have an array and then we have a list. What about equivalent of dictionary? Key value pair?
so, yes, that's called maps. So,
Hmm.
that is also very commonly used for it. So, we're going to create a map here. I'm going to, okay, let's create a document. So, let's say we have something called marks is a map, right? So this again has mutable or unmutable. So we can have um, uh, 90 to A, 85 to sorry, 85 to B, and
Why
100
do you have
to.
to use the words to? That is the equivalent of
It's
colon, is it?
mapping. Yeah. Yes, that's equivalent of colon. So we're mapping the value A to the index 90
So
to the value
yeah, which
to
is
the
key and which is value?
key A.
A is key.
A is A is
Oh,
key.
so position wise, it's interchange.
Yeah.
Not a good thing, yeah.
So
It's a little confusing.
the mapping. This is
Hmm.
how we talk in normal English language as well,
English,
right?
right?
We
Okay,
map
okay.
X
Hmm.
to Z. I mean,
Hmm.
100 marks to
Okay,
A.
okay.
So ln marks. This will give us 90 is equal to A, 85 is equal to B, 100 is equal to C.
Hmm.
So actually, sorry, this is key value pair. Hi there. This is key, this is value. That was my bad.
Okay.
Yeah. 92 D should not let us.
No,
Yeah.
no. I think what you should do is A to 90. Yeah.
So yeah,
A to 90. A to 90. B
my yeah.
to 80. Okay, fine.
So sorry, it is you're right. Key to value.
Hmm. Okay.
Um, so let's say I want to add marks of E, sorry, D to 76. Yeah. So here this got added. Um, Here if we can like if we had to check if something exists, so um, or we'll have to write a we can go through multiple methods, we're going to be writing a for loop to do so. So let's say for key comma value in marks.
Is Kotlin interpreted or compiled? Very interested to know.
Sorry, did someone speak? Just a second.
The question was,
Hello?
is Kotlin interpreted or compiled? Question by
Kotlin
Kishan.
is compiled. Yeah. So Kotlin, the compiler converts a code into bytecode and then it's executed either in here right now we're executing it in JVM, or for Android would be through Android runtime or JavaScript, because Kotlin is used in web, so it's in JavaScript. So um, Kotlin is a compiled language, not an interpreted language. Because we're doing it on online compilers, it might seem a little more faster, but compilation happens behind the scenes and then so
And
it's
is the
not like
compiler installable alone?
in your local system.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can install Kotlin. Uh, just let me send that link.
Okay.
You need
Thanks.
a Java. So you need a Java. I think you need a basic Java environment. Apart from that, Kotlin is just. I think if you have a Mac, it's just sudo install Kotlin, but
Okay.
it's very easy to install onto your local system.
Okay. Yeah.
So command line. Let me send this link.
Okay, now we can talk about null
Oh,
safety,
sorry.
Subra. You were talking about null safety.
Yes. I'm trying to say. So we do have a few other data structures, very similar to Python. We have a set which doesn't have indices. We have a stack that follows last in first out. So we can push or pop or things like that. Then we can use a queue. Queue is also very commonly used in Android app development,
Q is,
or a double-ended.
sorry, Shubhra, your voice is a little feeble. You seem to be speaking away from the mic. Uh, it
Um,
it
can you hear me
drops
now?
off. Yeah. You said Q is used for?
Queue is also used during Android app development. You can
Okay.
use it to store sort of what non-blocking priority operations you'll give when an app is running. So as an app is loading, I want certain things to happen in a certain manner.
Mm,
Like these are the APIs that are more important. We give a priority queue for that, and
okay.
or a double-ended queue. So um, even though it is first in first out, it allows you to insert and remove at both ends.
So will you be able to show
So
some application of Q tomorrow? Okay.
yeah, I think tomorrow hopefully we get back to Android app development,
Okay.
and yeah. So
So tell us
just
some
one thing.
interesting assignments that we can do tomorrow, because I think without the Android Studio, I will need it tomorrow. So tell us, what all the nice assignments we can do tomorrow. Mm.
So tomorrow we're going to get back to. So tomorrow the plan for today was to build a weather app using the weather app API.
Weather app, is it?
So
Okay.
yes,
So
so it's
which
going to get you
API,
innovation.
can you share us the API which you have in mind?
Yeah, it's openweathermaps.org. So the first 1,000 calls is free.
One second. Can you share the link, please, on chat?
Yes, I've shared it.
Sorry, has it been shared?
Yes, I've shared it on chat.
Okay. One question, is indentation important here? Somebody asked the question. Anushri, I think.
No, no, indentation is not as important. It's all based on like flower brackets, and you can write anything within the brackets. So you're okay.
Okay, this weather map API, does it require a key, secret key or something?
It does, but the first 1,000 calls are free. I'll be generating, so I have the key with me, and I can share that with all of you,
Hmm.
and you can use that to build since the first 1,000 API calls, and after that we'll cut it off.
Okay.
So but tomorrow the plan is to use an API to build a weather map. We're going to be going through a few concepts of coroutines and how to call an API. For now, we'll keep it as static location, and if we get the time, we'll get the current location of the user and then get the weather
Wait a minute.
data
Static location means based on some pin code or something? What is it?
based on a lat long location.
So input is lat long and output will be the weather.
So they have multiple parameters in this open web. Input is okay. Yeah, we can do that. Do it that way as well.
Okay.
Yeah, we can give it an input of a lat long and then give an output of the weather. But we're gonna also look into a little bit of UI things
Hmm.
during that time.
Okay.
So, I just wanted to cover null safety before we go off. Okay.
Yeah.
This is something that is
Your voice is still feeble. I don't know whether others are facing. Looks like as though you're talking to yourself. Doesn't look as powerful as yesterday. I
uh,
don't know.
can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but it appears as though you're talking to yourself. You know, little louder will help actually.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, that's better. Actually.
Okay.
Yeah, it really helps.
So
So, what is
yeah.
null safety? I mean, tell us what is
Yes.
null first.
Just to get in. Yeah. Yeah.
What is
Let me
null?
get into that.
Yeah.
1 second. So, um, a variable can hold a value or it can hold nothing. So that nothing that it holds is what we call as null. So null itself is not like evil, but the problem is when we forget to check for it and we still access the value and forgetting that there's no value in it and still perform operations on it, it becomes really problematic. So uh, so instead of maybe null or like maybe not, like Kotlin sort of expects us to forces us to be explicit that if this can be a nullable variable, then you have to make sure that you give it certain functions always expect a default value for it. So if a type is not marked, the like Kotlin guarantees that it's not null. So let's say I have a string and I'll name this as Kotlin. And let's say if I put a is equal to null, this will give us a compile error because this I've mentioned that this can never be null because it doesn't have a question mark. If I have a question mark around it, then we say that this value can be made null. So if let's say I don't have a question mark, it should give us yeah. Oh, sorry. Val cannot be reassigned. And null cannot be a value of a non-null type. So, but if add a question mark and I do this, it's going to it went through and it was able to assign the value null, assign a null value to a variable. So, if a variable is nullable, that is, that question mark is there, then Kotlin will not let you call methods directly. So, let's say if I want
Sorry,
to
sorry,
print.
can't hear you. I mean, you're petering off. If you cannot, can you tell me again? Somehow the voice seems to become lower and lower as you talk. What did you say? If
Let
you
me just
cannot?
take out just 1 second. 1 second. Taking off my earphones. Is this better?
Yeah, keep speaking. Let's see. Yeah,
So if I've mentioned that a variable can become null at any point of time, then then Kotlin doesn't allow you to call methods to it directly. So let's say right now if this was not nullable, and if I wanted to print ln a dot length, it should give me 6.
length spelling. Yeah. No, there is one extra PRIN there.
So it gives me 6. But if I would have mentioned that this could someday be null, then we're going to have a compilation error here, because you cannot mention a non-nullable. Kotlin doesn't allow you to um, sort of call any method without telling this can maybe become null. So when we use a question mark here, we're saying that even a dot length could be null at some time. So that's called like so it's preventing in Java. If anyone has used Java, this null pointer exception is a very common exception that you keep catching for. So it's very similar to that in Kotlin. We never want to hit the null pointer exception because it's going to crash your app. And if it's a production app, then you're never going to be, I mean, it should not be crashing. So Kotlin in itself doesn't allow you to. So when we say a dot length with that question mark, it allows you to go through it even though it is a nullable string. So if I put it as a is equal to null, so it's saying that a dot length also could be null. So that's why it didn't let me just directly call it. This is called a safe call. So it's called null safety. So safe call means if it's not null, only then access it. Otherwise, return null. So it means that if a only if I realize that a is not null, then try to access it. But if a is null, do not try to access it. Just return null. So that's basically some code that's been written at the back of Kotlin that says if a is equal to null, then just return null.
Okay.
Else
So
access it. So
what I understand, let me understand. Every variable, we have an option of putting a question mark at the end to indicate null or not null. Okay. Now I'll give you some example. Suppose we have an internal IA internal assessment test. Okay. Somebody
mm-hmm,
has not attended the examination, and somebody has attended the examination and got 0. Okay.
mm-hmm.
So the person who has got 0, it is actually a 0 mark for that examination. But a person who has not attended, he cannot be called 0. It is null actually, right?
Correct. Correct.
So in such a case, can I give the marks as null?
Yeah, we can set it to null.
But is that is see that marks is a list. One of the
Marks.
items can be a null, but how do I make one of the items as possible null?
The same way we declared it here, using the key the value null. So so 180 null.
Hmm.
Okay.
Mutable.
I already have a list one somewhere. So as you can see, list two has 180 and null.
Hmm.
So uh, this is a good example because when we're going through this list, and if let's say we want to find percentage
Hmm.
value or something like that,
Correct.
so we will only be working with the non-null values. If we try to
Correct.
access the null value and do divided by or anything, it's going to give us an error.
Hmm.
Uh, so what I like let's say what I cannot do is sorry, I keep forgetting.
So does question mark mean optional or something?
Question mark means we're calling it as a safe call. That means if it can expect that this value can be null, and if it is null, just return null. Like, do not try to access it.
So potentially null value has to be called using a question mark.
Yes. If any value could be potentially null, then always you have to add a question mark, otherwise it's going to give you a compile time error.
Okay, yeah.
So for I in um yeah, for I in list 2, if I had to um I per so let's say I divided by um so let's say this is marks out of 100. For now I'm just going to add one extra mark that everyone got for something. So let's say if I wanted to do this, this this is not going to compile because this can have a null value, and null plus 1 is not allowed. So here, as you can see, operator call is prohibited on a nullable receiver. So here instead, yes, sorry, were you going to say something? So instead, there are two, three things that you can do. Either you can do I with the safety operator and then just say plus one. So this will do the same thing. Here we need to add the safety operator. If I had done I dot plus one, it would have given us the same thing. Non null asserted. So if I do this, it's going to give me 180 and by default 0, and because it's null it just return null. And if I expect that if it was null, then just send it as 0 and not null, then this
Wait a minute. Wait
I
a
dot
minute. Has do any one of you have any question here?
I have a simple doubt.
Hmm.
mm-hmm.
So I in line number after the for loop definition, yeah, in that line, after we do I safety operator, why do we do dot plus instead of directly putting plus?
Because this so you can apply a safety operator only on a method that we're calling. So this is not something Kotlin will understand. So
I
uh,
mean,
the
like
safe
removing the like I what is it, question mark plus and then the number without any dot. Would
so
that work?
this no oh wait, are you saying this way?
Yeah, like this.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, it's like this. It's like this.
Yeah, so no, this will not work. This also will not work. So safety operator can only be used for a method, or you can use something called if you wanted to still maintain that, then you can have something like this, which forces that no null. So when you have two exclamations, this would work fine. So when you have two exclamations, it forces that this value cannot be null. So here, if I is null, um, this will crash. But it needs to force that this value is null. But you cannot directly put a question mark, because a safety operator is something that when I'm running a method, always check for safety. Plus is not a method here.
Okay, yeah.
Or one more thing you can always do
You
is
mean
this is
the plus symbol is not a method. PLUS is a method.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
plus.
That I got, but I just asked for that normal plus.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what we can do is we this let keyword is something we're going to be using a lot more. So let is that only if I is not null, then do everything here. So result is equal to I plus one.
Oh, then do we have an else block here? Like if it is null,
Sorry.
in this dot let block, do we have a else kind of feature where another block of code is run when it is null?
Oh no. So else will not come in here. You'll have to have a if condition before it. So this is,
Oh,
yeah, let in itself does not have an else block. So this is for simplifying that. So this is the same as if I is not equal to null, then do I plus one, else do I plus zero or whatever. I mean, else it's zero, or they get one marks. So this is what you would write. But if you, let's say, don't have an else block, then you write it as let. So that means only do the following operations if it's not null.
okay, but what are the advantages of using dot let over just an if statement without any else?
So here we don't have a if it is a null value, just skip this entire block. So that is just a short way of saying we don't want to handle an else. If it is a null value, just skip this. Otherwise,
Oh,
do
so
the computation.
so it's like a slight performance boost.
Um, it is more of a syntactical. It doesn't have a performance boost as such, because it's the same as if and else loop, except else is just skip, like continue in that loop.
Oh, okay, yeah, got
So
it.
it is just don't access I, continue with that loop, and then go to the next I. So
Oh, so let
behind,
just skips it.
yes, let if it's null, then it just skips it. So it
Instead of
let,
continuing, it will skip.
yes,
Okay, yeah.
it only when the value is not null does whatever is inside. Otherwise, the whole expression just simply skips, and it's a null.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, got it.
So now, like for example, if a user puts in any input, then you would want to check for a null value, and then or if you get a response from a backend, we would always need to check if it was null, because that could be possible before we continue doing any computation on it. So null pointer exception is an exception that can crash your entire app, and our goal is to not let it. So Kotlin has these let, or it enforces you to put this question mark dot. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. I think we can ask the participants for any more questions. Pranati, Shivani, Sharda, Tanisha, Dhyan. Please ask some questions. It'll help all of us. Purvi, Anushri. Nisha, any questions? Kishan, any more questions?
No, sir, no.
Okay. I think, yeah, we can close for the day, Shubhra. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Sorry about the technical issues we faced today and for coming late.
Yeah, I think,
Tomorrow I'll join a
yeah,
little early and make sure it's we're able to share my screen and we can continue with
okay,
Android.
okay. So, any last chance, any more questions? Please ask. Otherwise, we'll close for the day and we'll meet tomorrow. Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank you, Shubhra. Thanks, everyone.
yeah. Thank you,
Thank
madam.
you.
Thank you, sir.